Hey everyone, my name is Ashwin. I graduated out of the Math Business double degree program out of Waterloo and Laurier back in 2016 and was glad to be a part of the winter 2016 St. Paul's Greenhouse cohort. Repping the same shirt from all those years ago. Today I'm just going to share the story of my journey to Greenhouse, during my time at Greenhouse, and since being part of a truly great experience. By way of background on myself, that really contextualizes the work that I endeavored to do. I think it's important to note. So my parents are Sri Lankan Tamil refugees who were lucky enough to escape the Sri Lankan Civil War, which went from the mid '80s to 2009. I was lucky enough to be born a Canadian citizen, a luxury that I didn't do anything to deserve, and the privilege that I'm incredibly grateful for. I did know people who did grow up in very tough circumstances in Sri Lanka, and that always left a deep impact on me to try my best and endeavor to level the playing field so that those students get the same opportunities that I've been so lucky to have. The venture that I joined Greenhouse with was actually a charitable club called the Children's 10 Foundation that I helped lead in Waterloo from 2011-2012 to 2016. Our focus was to fundraise for war-affected children in Sri Lanka through providing educational scholarships and a couple of infrastructure upgrades, mainly focused on fundraising through events here. And we fundraised through basketball tournaments and bomber events, or the campus pub at the time, the bomber. We'd leverage a lot of the free perks that you get through being a charitable club on campus, where Waterloo would provide all those things for free. And the institutions we supported were mainly based in the north and east of Sri Lanka. Specifically, boys and girls homes run by the Church of the American Samoan Mission and Angel International School in the north. During those times, especially after the war, it's really important to ensure accountability of funds sent. And I was lucky enough that two personal mentors of mine, both of whom were kind of professors at U of T and Syracuse University respectively, both left to leadership roles within those organizations that we supported, providing kind of direct line of sight into the money that we were sending, the impact we were having, and the ultimate development of some of these students. All said and done, over the 5 years at Waterloo, Children's 10, or 4 or 5 years at Waterloo, Children's 10 grew pretty organically. It really was, a bunch of close friends at first doing what we loved, and we liked to play basketball and go out, and leveraging that fact that a lot of undergrad students like to do that. We held over 10 basketball tournaments, ran a bunch of bake sales, raffles, and bomber events with, I think, in total over 2,000 people attending our events. Our bomber events had a good 400, 500 people coming out, all said and done raising over $25,000. Most of which went to educational scholarships and the rest going to infrastructure upgrades at some of the homes that we supported. Emblematic of what we were trying to achieve, one of the first events we ran was actually a basketball tournament, which helped fund the resurfacing and construction of a school basketball court in northern Sri Lanka. And that goes a long way. It's just a powerful statement of students playing basketball here to support students getting a holistic education there. So the idea that I wanted to expand on when I joined Greenhouse was branching out this concept to other universities with a bit of a franchise model. After I graduated, I began working full-time in finance and a bit of a crossroads and how best to keep Children's 10 moving forward. I'd say I took a bit of a left turn as compared to some of my other peers in my Greenhouse cohort. So one of the partner organizations that Children's 10 partnered with and sent donations through was a CRA registered charity, Canadian charity called Hope for Child Relief Mission, which had a really similar mandate in supporting educational and livelihood initiatives in Sri Lanka. So I joined the board of directors for Hope for Child in 2016, enrolled some of Children's 10's activities in there, and I've been lucky enough to have been a part of the board since, so 4 years now, visiting our programs and really helping evolve the organization. One of the big initiatives we're looking at now is, Hope for Child's been operating for a long time, since 2008, and needs have evolved, right? So during and right after the war, there was a huge focus on immediate relief, food relief, safety. Those are all things that are incredibly important. 10 years later, 11 years later, we've really seen a shift into kind of a sustainable investing mindset and bringing a framework of self-sufficiency into how we support organizations. And that's something I think that is the next big focus. Feel free to reach out. More than happy to chat. Wish everyone the best and hope everyone stays safe through this pandemic. Cheers.